much anything else. And if I fall behind, ignoring all the signs, and if I lose the fight, I still rage against the night. I'd rather be a dreamer, I'd rather be free, I'd rather be a leader, I'd rather be a queen, I'd rather be a singer in a trashy cover band. I'd rather be a closer, I'd rather be clean, I'd rather be a poser in a magazine, I'd rather be pretty much anything else than your machine.
As snowfall batters the East Coast, we have a red hot match to open up this Counter-Strike Confederation Season 16. I am your friendly neighborhood Smokey, and alongside with me is my good friend Nexus and our lovely observer, AJ, aka Virus for the night. Tonight we are looking at the fourth of 6 tiers of play between the Big Slimes Sludge Squad and the UPS franchise Fall Fighters. Nexus, always glad to have you here, brother. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing well. It's a Tuesday night, casting some Counter Strike Contender of all tiers against the two, I want to say, conglomerates of the CSC, right? Brought in a couple other franchises such as the AVI and the EOS. But before the cuts, we had, I believe, almost all 6 tiers in both of these franchises, with BS only missing out with their recruit team. So, yeah, two big conglomerates going at it in the Contender tier, Smokey.
Yeah, I'm excited for this opening matchup. We have on the Sludge Squad, we have Emin, Squiggy, Brian, Fish, and Fatal. And on the Pho Fighter side, we have Cherry, Spence, Holy Cow, Barricade, and their IGL Next Gen Mason. But before we get into these two teams duking it out, I hear we have a new partnership on board.
Oh,
They go by the name of CS Strats.
yeah, they go. See your strats. We are proud finally to pronounce another partnership here at the Counter Strike Confederation. CSstrats.dk essentially is just a paid service where you can analyze strats. You essentially get a bunch of different designs, tools to help you, you and your team create the best possible strategies you can for your CSC games or even your ESEA games, right? You get personalized strat books. You can organize and customize your strategy all in one central hub so that the entire team can look at it. Pro tactics, things that you've seen in the ESL Pro League, the recent Katowice tournament. You can see all of that, really kind of analyze and look into how it's all worked out. You have a drawing board where you can design your own based off of these custom strats as well from the pro games. Homework, assigning and training tasks for smarter practice. Essentially, get ways to maybe work on crosshair placement, maybe work on repositioning, work on different micro adjustments within the game itself. A PDF download as well, where you can download your strat book to a PDF and be able to email that out to your other players if they don't have access to the actual thing itself, or just have it there at the ready. And also a a viewer where you can view and analyze your games and just kind of see, from a different perspective, the overall map layout there. If you want to read some more about it, go to www.csstrats.dk. I believe they also have a YouTube video as well. You can also look at the links in the Discord itself, discord.gg/CSC. In the notices tabs, you can see there as well. But if you are a CSC player, you get 3 months for free for the entire season, I believe. There is a link there for that as well. And if you're not a CSC player and you still want to test it out, you can just click the link as well. You get 1 month for free because CSC players are always favored there. And if you do like their services, you can always use the code CSC25 for 25% off your first purchase. Once again, CS25 at csstrats.dk for 25% off your first purchase.
Excellent and very interesting website. One thing I noticed was a little thing called the planning board. With the planning board, you and your team can visualize your tactics and strategies and assign one or more boards to the same tactics. So you could almost have like an overlay of a map and actually like whiteboard draw type stuff on it with like execs and stuff and like movements with like either like a primary and secondary strat in case if something falls apart. That would have come in so handy for me last season. And like you were saying, like the homework sort of portion where you can assign teammates homework for crosshair placement, execs and whatnot, man, as someone who went 1-11 last season, I definitely could have used that. But as we were saying earlier, csstrats.dk, check it out. That will be, I think that is going to come in to some of these teams, especially as we come into these more sweatier teams with the Contender, the Chally, Elite, and even Premier. Because we know some of these guys, even in CSC, they play for these ESEA teams, so they use this type of stuff.
They use more than just the strat books and the drawing board as well. And even also the recruit and prospect tier. They definitely have players that are more than willing to even just pay for the service itself, even if we didn't have a sponsorship. That's how committed these guys are to the craft of Counter Strike, professional Counter Strike. And more towards your point, Smokey, you're absolutely right. Different ways for the team to kind of come together and have everyone's input be seen, which is like the whole idea of Team CS, and that's going to segue right into today's match day, right? It's the first official match day, Smokey, meaning all roster cuts have been made. We are all down to 5 players, and every team should be fielding 5 players, barring the occasional sub here and there throughout the almost entirety of the season, except for when mid season roster changes come up, Smokey. That's going to be a big deciding factor within these first few weeks of Counter Strike.
It is exciting indeed. I don't see any substitutes for tonight for either Sludge Squad or Fell Fighters. So that's good. And as I stated earlier, Sludge Squad is rounded out by MN, Squiggy, Brian, Fish, and Fatal as their IGL. And then for Fell Fighters, it is Cherry, Spens, Holy Cow, Barricade, and Next Gen Mason as their IGL. Interesting to see. I know I've casted Fatal before, and I've casted a couple of games from Holy Cow and Next Gen Mason last season. So it'll be very interesting. I'm super excited to see what these two teams have in store for us.
I'm
Roster
always
cuts.
so confused with Holy Cow and Holy Lamb. I always assume they're the same person,
Oh
and
yeah, I know.
I'm like still 80% sure that they are two different players.
They have to be. Wait. Holy Lamb, does he play for Tendy?
I believe Holy Lamb plays as a PFA in Elite.
Okay, I was about to say. I'm pretty sure he was an elite tier. Yeah,
However,
unless he's unless he has like a body double.
however, CSC numbers knew that Holy Lamb and Holy Cow on the same team on the What Do You Be franchise would have just been something that broke the space time continuum. So that is the exact reason why there's no other possible explanation as to why Holy Lamb and Holy Cow are not on the same team.
I was about to say I've cast a Holy Lamb before, and I hope I'm not casting with any body doubles. That's spooky.
But wouldn't it be so much fun to have yourself do the color commentary, the play-by-play commentary, and the observing? Wouldn't that just be really, really funny?
I mean, it would, but also seems like a lot of work, big dog. I don't know. That's too much for me.
It's quite a handful. I think it's a lot of fun. I've done it a couple of times. It is realistically pretty fun just because you can just shut up whenever you want and and pretty much is that. You can do whatever you want. You can shut up whenever you want and you never really lose your talking point. Right? There are
Yeah.
times where you kind of, someone comes with a really interesting topic and you go, "I want to talk about it," and then the moment passes. Well, if you do it all by yourself, you can just talk about it yourself.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind like solo casting, but for a game, but like observing, like I'm the Navy's worst IT. Whenever I tell all the guys in my shop, since I work with Air Force, I'm like, I'm the Navy's worst IT guys. Like all this OBS stuff, it's like a foreign language to me. They wanted me to get like Sec Plus and CCNA certified. I'm like, dog, I worked on external comms for the last like 5 years. Like whenever it comes to like coding and web development, and even just like basic scripts and stuff like this, I'm like a lost puppy. Goofy as it may be. That's why I leave it to the professionals like you and AJ.
Well, calling me a professional is definitely stretching it a bit. We all know about the absurdity of the Nexus forgetting to switch over to the correct scene. But it is not too difficult, but it is a lot of trying to see what works and what doesn't. A lot of what I did as in on OBS is just I click and I see what it did, and if I couldn't fix it, I just reinstall at that point.
Yeah.
It's a lot of messing around, and at the end better applications to use. It's free to
Mhm.
use, and this isn't an ad for OBS, by the way. It's just something that I like talking about. I love OBS. I've been using it since I was 11, back when I had 30 FPS on Minecraft. Like
Bro,
it's a
you
throwback.
were a Minecraft streamer?
I was hitting. What were we hitting the Gwitty on Minecraft servers?
Little Mexican
Uh,
Minecraft streamer. Damn, what was that like? Fucking like 2013 when you were 11 years old. You're like what, 15 now? 16? I'm kidding.
I actually just turned 12.
Mods.
Yeah,
This man right here. He's too young to have a. He's breaking
I'm,
Discord
I'm
TOS.
breaking the Discord TOS.
He's too young to have a Discord account.
He's too young. I'm tattletailing. I'm tattletailing. I feel like Smokey, you'd be the kind of person who would remind a teacher that there was home. Is the
That's
best way that I.
crazy talk. They actually say that, bro. I take offense to that, big dog.
However, I will commend you. I did have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich before we started the cast, and by Smokey was yelling at me to toast the bread, and I listened, and it was one of the best peanut butter and jelly sandwiches that I've ever had.
Damn right. I was about to say, listen to your elders, big dog. Nah, fam, but like, no, it's okay. I didn't have much better for dinner. I had a, I got little mini eclairs for dinner, so I'm kind of being a fat pig right now. Lord knows I don't need those for dinner. But yeah, as we are, production is just having us wait for the server to open up for both Big Slime and Upsetty Spaghetti to load in. I think we're also still waiting on their map bans, if I'm not mistaken.
Map bans won't be coming in anytime soon. However,
Yeah,
we are going to be going in. The entire website just broke down, I want to say, because nothing is working.
that's
We are going to
crazy.
be. We're going to cut to a quick break and we'll be back soon, hopefully with a game.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to this first night of Counter-Strike Confederation B stream. I am your friendly neighborhood Smokey, and alongside me is Nexus. Tonight, we will be having a slugfest between the Sludge Squad and the Pho Fighters. As we wait just to be let into the server, we should be in just a few seconds. Should be interesting to see. I know they're still warming up, I do believe. Okay, now we're at pistol round. Let's go, baby. Pho
Yeah, they
Fighters
knew.
looks like... Yep, Pho Fighters looks like they'll start out on the CT side.
It's piss around Smokey, so it's going to be a lot of high octane movement, a lot of high pressure environment, and a lot of, or at least not too much slow paced plays. We do have a smoke and 2 flashes coming in to hopefully sell this exec. We have a 4-man going towards A, and I think they're going to go for a mid split. Yeah, sending bomb through middle here, Smokey.
Yeah, and Andy's got a molly, drops, tosses it very quickly out. Nade goes out, and Fatal, Squiggy, and Fish all taking a lot of damage. Fatal, the worst of it, already down to 39. Glock's coming out, and that's a team flash onto Squiggy, but they're going to still pile in anyway. Andy and Spence taking the damage, going down very quickly. Next Gen Mason trying to make something out of this. Can't get any kills.
Look at the flank
it's-
onto Barricade, though.
Barricade's trying to cook with this, and it's still all 5 T's alive. Bomb has gone down though. They got to work against the clock, and a nice peek onto Fish. Fish gets the headshot, and it's off the next gen, and holy cow. Holy cow, diving in, getting absolutely nothing thanks to Min, and Fish with another kill of his own to take down next gen Mason. A perfect round for this T side. A double to Min and Fish, and 1 for Fatal as well.
Yeah, just a solid overall round. It started off not too well there. Eating that nade damage, getting all the info that all the players were mid. And even the team flash coming in from the Sludge Squad just spelled disaster for the entire BS side, but they all managed to recover, not just hitting 1 or 2 headshots. They managed to get the gushes, the site control, planting that bomb and taking the space together. They took deep into CT, they made sure they maintained a main control, and waited for the last 2 players to go for the retake. So a solid overall piss round from the Sludge Squad.
You could say almost looking a little shaky, but they very quickly righted the ship. Looks like only 2 Mac 10s and 3 Galeals for this Sludge Squad side. Very quickly going to peek over towards his B main. Still a little bit defaulty spread. And it looks like Fatal just hiding over by T-spawn, just waiting for the call to see what site they want to push towards, as the Pho Fighters just trying kind of Astrala stack this B site.
I
Smoke pokes
recently
good.
learned a new call out for Anubis. It's the Tower of Power, Power Tower. It is when you do that stack on the B pillar and just wait for someone to peek B main. It's such a weird concept to me that I was thrown off by it in my recent pug.
That's goofy. Squiggy pushing towards mid. He's going to see a lot of pistols up in his face in just a second if he's not careful. Peeking towards. He gets dinked, but he somehow makes it out. Min and Holy Cow getting trades. Squiggy trying to fall back. Gets nothing out of the rifle. Fish and Holy Cow blind trades of their own. Barricade picks up a Galil and Spence with a Mac 10. They might be getting this. It's all up to Brian.
And it's not planned for him either. He realizes this. He's not going to have a chance to retake this. And one missed position play there coming out from the Sludge Squad side is going to be the reason why the Pho Fighters take this round. I believe that player coming in through cam should have just booked it immediately towards that CT heaven area, even ducked into a cave there just to be safe and not give up any extra weapons, and also not to give up the space. Just a bit of panic coming out there from that rifler, and I like the idea behind it, having a couple of Mac 10s, poke and prod, and have the Galil stick a bit of long range, but those Mac 10s have to do their job of being the Mac 10, being that entry fragger, being the person to take all the attention away from the rest of the team.
It is a good way, especially like on round 2, pistol +1. You could really farm the CT side, especially because their economy is so broken if they lose round 1. But it really comes to bite them in the back because they aren't able to get almost any kills out of it. And I will say, Pho Fighters had a really good, very quick rotate all the way through mid. All of them hide through smoke and they pounce as soon as they can. And now we see a nice full rifle buy thanks to the CT side. And just Galil's and a scout. See if Brian can make something out of this. Smoke goes down, tries to poke through smoke. Sees nothing, connects nothing. But that will trigger the fighters to rotate on over, albeit a little bit. The nade misses, but Spence is not 100% certain that it's going to be a B push. Still a very defaulty setup by this T side. 1, 2, and then almost 2 towards A side. Brian.
Mid's open too.
Yeah. Mid is open. They can go for this, but they're opting not to. They don't even have bomb right now. They set it down over towards T spawn to B. Squiggy might be going back to get that. Opts to pick it up. And mid might try to push towards mid very slowly.
This
Spence
is not a
has the
good
angle.
look. It's not a good look for the Sludge Squad. 30 seconds left on the clock. They have to go in fast. The site has to come in now. They have to go for either the A or the B split, and it's looking like the bomb is cheating over towards A, and I think that's exactly where it's going to be ending.
Yeah, this has to be a very good A hit. There's only 2 of them on site, so they can get away with this if they go now. They've got 10 seconds to plan. Going in quick, Andy J with the initial kill. Next Generation with 1. NG getting 2, getting 3. And Brian is the last T standing. Gonna have to tuck his tail between his legs and, just save this rifle.
It's a hard round to really win, especially when you have no map control elsewhere. You do see Brian get taken out by Barricade. A good hunt, and I believe that was after time, so Brian may not be getting the full investment there. They do have 2,050 though, so maybe it was before time there. But yeah, just overall, if you're gonna go for a very late split there, you're gonna have to have at least some presence on the other side of the map. We saw some gunshots being shot over towards B with the Galils, but it wasn't enough to keep those feet planted. You need to keep that presence there, or even have them think that there are players still outside the B bomb site with a couple of pieces of utility, or even making a sound cue. But with 30 seconds left, it was really hard for the Sludge Squad to do that.
I was about to say, yeah, as they try to now body this out with pistols. Getting nowhere. Barricade 1. Fatal with the trade. Okay, Fatal with 2. Getting holy cow. Spence backed up with the Galil. Able to take down Fish, but bomb at least goes down. Smoke goes out. They have to play for a retake. Albeit not the worst retake in the world. Brian's the only one with the rifle. Squiggy's still with the Glock. Okay, I say that. And a 1v1 ends up in Brian's favor. Jesus.
And
Just
that
like
was a
that,
round.
Just like that, the round gets turned on its head. Oh my
It's not a
Lord.
round that they should be winning. That is a round that the Foe Fighters have won, and it was just that weird back and forth. I was gonna mention it just to see that bit of irony that the Sludge Squad are gonna be copying the Foe Fighters and only lose out, but it turns out they took the page right out from their strat book, winning the round as well. It really just came down to the site players being overwhelmed and playing too split apart, and also not a bit of not hitting their shots there. But economy still gonna be in favor of the CT side.
Yeah, Foe Fighters still have a lot of money to burn. They're not bad on this buy. Fatal taking some stray shots as well. Kill is not secured, but it's also information gained. Fish gonna try to nade out mid, connects with nothing. Barricade might try to re-smoke and maybe peek out of this dark. But once again, very slow play by the Sludge Squad side. Molly out towards mid as well, but they're not finding anything.
And not a lot of space being taken either. This player by Fatal, by T steps, isn't really taking any sort of a main control or having a rifle to walk up close. So not a lot of information being given overall.
Let's say if Andy J decides to poke out a little bit from A main, he could catch them completely off guard. And Fatal now double util over towards A side, but he's gonna wrap over towards B. And they're gonna go ahead and push now with 50 seconds left on the clock. Min with a good opening kill, but goes down. All up to Fatal. Maybe get an exit with this op, but he's got to try to save it as well because their finances are not in good order. Nice kill into Barricade. 2v1. He could try to go for this. Plenty of time on the clock. About 30 seconds.
Shots have to come in quick though, in quick succession. One playing by Dark Pillar and one outside of B.
Yeah, Andy's waiting for the fallback. But if he gets his kill on Dispense, he could get this bomb plant. He's got to play fast, though.
And we got disconnected from the server.
Lord have mercy.
They didn't want to watch us see the clutch get played out.
Didn't want to see the sick clutch.
Unfortunately, that's not the universe we live in. The Foe Fighters do end up winning that round, Smokey. But the spacing behind the Sludge Squad side, that attack just was so discombobulated. Not like what we saw in the pistol round. They were together, they moved as a unit, and they took space away from each other within a reason. That round, we had the B main players taking first contact, and then the E-box players swung out after the B main players aren't swinging as well. It was just so uncoordinated and so unlikely to win out the round.
Let's say their more aggressive plays, their faster plays, as soon as the round starts, have been a little bit more fruitful than their more defaulty plays. They have just upgraded pistols with the exception of Brian's AK, They could try to make this a little bit better. Oh no, next to Mason with the opening kill. Fish gets a double on the trade. Bomb will go down as well. And like we were saying earlier, like these more aggressive, quicker style plays are coming to their favor. They can't be playing default all the time, especially even with like full buy rounds. It's not looking good for them. Andy J gonna quickly drop down, might try to get them coming out of dark. They got the two-prong push towards B main as well.
That's not good. The thing
Bench
does
with
land
the
though.
double. They're gonna crack open this site. It's all up to Brian. He's got full HP, but oh no! Caught with the util out and the knife out, and Brian with the double and secure the round. That ties us up 3 apiece.
That is a huge club for Brian to win. That is something that the Sludge squad needed after that abysmal B split from the previous round there. And the trades were a lot better. The spacing was a lot better. And when you have that upper miss, all it takes is for one more miss for them to get completely overrun, especially by Tech 9s. That is the run and gun weapon. And of course, that player outside of B main coming through the smoke at the right timing, that's how you're supposed to play a split off of a contact. You wait for the heads to still be turned and then pushing forward.
And now a little bit better finance is looking towards this T side as the FUF fighters get a little aggressive with the MP9 buys as their economy goes a little bit down into the shitter. Pushing all the way straight from B towards mid. Gonna get spotted out. No kills coming through even yet. Andy J the first one to fall. Just now coming onto site, the T's are Spence and Nexter and Mason both lit. Next to Mason getting 2 actually as well. Bryant trying to get a little cheeky out of it through T stairs, but finds nothing, goes down himself. Mason holding the side on his own, but Min pushing through. Camera gets the kill. Now it's a 2v2. And they're going to rotate all the way through B site. That's actually really smart. A very quick rotate.
Yeah, that information came out from Brian there. Hiding in the smoke, hoping to get a quick 2-piece, and it didn't work out in his favor there so far. But that info was more than enough for Fatal and MN to make the call to go for that full B commit, despite having full A control.
Yeah, and Fatal with the immediate smoke towards Cave has to force the CT's go all the way through CT. They're going to call him out. Can't stick the plant, and it's off the barricade. He's going to have to run away.
That's not... They might live here. They took a good chunk of damage there, but the Sludge squad now are going to be once again in the lead 4-3. After that pistol round there, and a really good play there. Brian had a round-winning play there. Had almost the highlight play of that round there, but managed to catch the missed timing after Hector just had to do the quick 180 for absolutely no reason there. But they still managed to win the round just off of the confidence of the call. That's the trust in the teammates that we're talking about, Smokey. These are the final 5 players who made the cut after the draft, and they trust in their communication to understand that Brian, who is also having a pop-off game, by the way, 7-3 headshots after headshots, 2 clutches, I believe, in a row, where they managed to pull it off. It's kind of a big deal, and to have that trust in that player was huge and the reason for the outcome of that round.
Yeah, and I mean, as shaky as like some of these more defaulty slower players are on the Sludge squad side, I'm not gonna completely fault them. It's match day 1. You're still almost ironing out the kinks. Yeah, you have your 5-man squad, but you still have a little bit maybe to iron out with these 5 men on the field. And it'll be interesting to see what they come up with on this next buy. Fatal again with the op. And the lone rifle on barricade with that saved Galil. And looks like one deagle going to next gen. Initial CT smokes and util go towards Fatal. He eats the absolute shit out of that grenade. He's going to fall back very quickly. Spence trying to push up with the USPS. Try to get the op out of this equation. But Fatal not letting them have it so quickly. Brian with a nice push towards mid might be able to catch him out if he's careful enough. Oh, the timing is just impeccable. The swing out from mid, but Brian gets the first one, and he's able to spot 2 more. More calls out go to his team. Oh no, Men trying to sneak away from Dark. Turns his head and goes down. Squiggy with 1 and Andy J with another. And it's a 3v2. This is a very ugly round for this Sludge squad. They at least get the bomb down, but they're at a man disadvantage. Mason with a deagle, Andy J and Holy Cow both with rifles. I say that Holy Cow goes down very quickly. Mason trying to make his name with a deagle. And Squiggy's just holding the site all on his own. Andy J holding behind pillar. slowly making his way. He gets one, and it's a 1v1 clutch scenario. Andy J needs a triple in this round.
They don't know the fish is outside of B main, even though it's not really planted for anywhere else.
He is not going to have time.
And he gets caught off guard.
Yeah, nothing else. Yeah,
Ah.
nothing else trying to get an AK in the save, but unfortunately can't get out in time. And another tactical timeout taken by the Sludge squad. I want to say this one would almost be a breather because that was a very promising round that ended up becoming very ugly for this T side.
Yeah,
They
I want the
almost
Sludge
lost it.
squad. I want the Sludge squad to take a little bit more time against these pistols. If they're reading the economy correctly, they should be able to determine and at least predict when these eco rounds should be coming in. Even if it's not full USPSs, those egos can still do a lot of damage, as we just saw there. Playing a little bit more slow pace, play more off of the trades, and understand the angles of of Anubis. Right? There was a recent interview where Donk completely just shit on Anubis, saying it was a horrible map, it's deleted from CS. But it's still a map that we have in the map pool, and we still have to play it. Even though Dust 2 is right there, Dust 2 is pretty bad. But the Sludge Squad still need to kind of
Tell
slow
me
down
how
a
you're-
little bit.
Tell me how
and
you
move
really
forward.
feel about Dust 2. I mean, Dust 2 isn't. It's an okay map.
It's a
I
boring
think
map.
it's kind of boring. I don't mind playing it, but I don't hate playing it. I think Anubis is a little bit more fun. Albeit a little bit more exec heavy, a little bit more T-sided, depending on who you ask.
Like Barney
As-
Stinson, new is always better. I don't necessarily agree with it, but in his words, new is always better. You can debate about that after.
No op still on the CT side as Fatal tries to make a little bit more noise on mid with his rifle. Next to Mason burning a little bit, and we get kicked out of the server again.
They just don't want us to watch the game smoke it.
No,
Valve hates
they
us.
said this.
Valve hates small indie production company.
They really do, and it's a damn shame. Andy J trying to hold his own towards A main. Holy cow, holding on B main. A little bit of smoke spam, no connections. T side still standing tall. The only damage taken by next gen Mason. Another very slow defaulty play. Their early defaulty plays that were a little bit slower have been very, very abysmal. Will be interesting to see. Fish the first one take down Andy J. Cracks open this A side a little bit. Fatal taking a lot of damage as well, and he's posted up over towards mid. And they're gonna quickly rotate over from under to B site now. Holy cow! Taking at least one to his name. Brian and Min getting one of their own, but Fatal the only one to fall so far. As all dispense, you might just decide to save this rifle. He's got a rifle with armor. No util for a retake, so a gyrate take on a 4v1. Yeah, he's already towards beaches on the A site over by sewers, so definitely just going to do the smart thing and tuck his tail between his legs. No harm, no foul.
Yeah,
You're
that's
down
them
3.
for is going to be coming in huge into this next round. Just because they have a lot more room to work with, they don't necessarily have to buy utility if the rest of the team is going to be saving. But it'd be nice to have this M4A1S boosted up on B boxes, or maybe play the lone A side by themselves, or even just be set up for a very aggressive push there. We did see Sludge Squad on the T side, really just getting hyper aggressive. Maybe the full fighters need to replicate that same exact formula of going hyper aggressive on the CT side, getting the space away from the Sludge Squad, and then capitalizing off of it, whether it's that flank push or leaving it all alone, forcing the BS side to go and commit to a B side where they have a full stack. It really comes down to the mind games and how what kind of information you have over here in the map.
Yeah, it looks like UPS is going to buy down to around 2,000. They have full loss bonus now. So even if they do lose this round, it won't be the end of the world. I assume they're going to be playing pretty aggressive. Barricade with the immediate push out towards B main. Eats the nade, tries to make something with his deagle, pushing even harder. Let's see the first one to fall. It's going to be Spens. Barricade cooking out with his deagle again. Fish with 2, Squiggy with 1, and they're getting absolutely denied. Next year, Mason and Andy J trying to make something out towards middle as well. They're going to get spotted out, and Min takes down Next Gen Mason, getting 2 thanks to Andy J's repeak. See if they get the bomb down. Extra money for the T side, and a tactical timeout taken by the Fluff Fighters now. First one for their game.
Yeah, we do see the up coming out for Next Gen Mason now. Finally, an up on the CT side. I'm curious to see where they're going to be playing now, right? That up can go anywhere. It can be that standalone mid player. It can also be the standalone A player going aggressive in those A main peaks, or a secondary player in that B defense, peeking in from E box there. There's a lot of different ways to utilize this up on Anubis. And it really comes down to how confident your opper is in taking these really close range fights. If you miss that one op shot in E-Box, you are completely left alone. And you can try to escape. It's going to be very difficult, especially with the way Sludge Squad have been just hitting shots, right? Fatal, Fish, Emin, Bryant, Squiggy, all of them, all hitting really crucial headshots within the mid round of the game. So really comes down to how confident can Next Gen Mason really be on their CT side.
And Min in particular having a very promising match. But it'll be interesting to see if Next Gen Mason and Fatal go for a little... Or no, Fatal swaps the op over to Min. So Min taking the op over Fatal's usual rifle. And they're going to go towards a very hyper-aggressive rush towards A. And an absolute demolishing by Andy J. A triple! Squiggly finally takes him down. But that's this T side for Sludge Squad completely Swiss cheese. And oh no, Min with the util out, getting denied. Squiggy with the trade, but it's a 1v3. He's got the bomb.
And the second!
Squiggy! Brother in Christ, it's a 1v1. Next Gen Mason has the op and the HP advantage. Maybe try to bait him out with a little bit of a... He did, with the util dump towards mid, and he's going to slowly walk his way. He's got plenty of time, too. Almost a minute left. And he can pick up plenty of rifles and utility, whatever he wants.
Next Gen Mason is also here really quickly, holding for the cross, hoping to see if someone made it through. And
back.
Yeah, the timing is there. They have that internal clock working. And now, with this smoke going to be tossed out, I believe that's a molly up to cut off that cap peak. He knows. And does he want to use the smoke to blow this out? He doesn't. Squiggy on for the ace, Smokey.
It's a CT molly. It doesn't matter for shit. Let's see if Squiggy can get this ace, baby. Oh, he's going to play all the way towards sewers. He's waiting. I don't even know if Next Gen Mason is going to peek this. He's all the way in sight. He's going to try to push, I think, towards A main.
Oh, with the smoke in. Wait! Next Gen Mason could get this.
Does he bait him out?
Does.
Oh, he's going to blow it open.
Spots it. Oh, but the op is now out.
No time.
Okay.
No time. Sludge Squad have this, if nothing else.
Get the ace. Squiggy, no!
Mason gets the kill with the op.
We'll give it to him. Make Next Gen Mason still died. That is an op a or a round ace for Squiggy there. That was close. It came down to the wire, and that's what I'm talking about. That aggressive CT side push, Smokey. Right? Andy J slowly creeping their way into A main. Hopefully, they were gonna make their way into A main, but stopped just as the exec was coming in, just off of internal timing, just off of intuition and feeling to get that 3K. That was huge. The first two, pretty much a given. That third one was crucial.
Let's see, aggressive plays met with aggressive resistance as Holy Cow down to the FAMAS. But Fish is not willing to peek that hard, very slowly. He has the advantage with the AK, with the util as well, but Holy Cow gets the initial kill. Only lit for half health too, and he has utility to burn. He can smoke himself off if need be. Brian poking towards mid. Doesn't see anything yet. Barricade holding his own towards dark. Now Brian goes in for the spam. Can't quite connect. Another very slow round by the Sludge Squad. Now they're going to go push towards mid, albeit a little bit. It's just one.
Cutting out that temple player as well. That's a good smoke to really let Brian work this space in middle. He spots the burst. He doesn't get the kill, and he does at the end. So a lot of space being taken, and that A site's completely empty. Wait, Smokey.
It's a minute left, and it's a 40-4. The A site completely open, but all the T's are stuck in mid.
They're scared.
They still aren't convinced about both sides being cleaned, and Next Gen Mason is going to go ahead and mop these guys up. Fatal with the trade, and what? Fatal with the auto? What is this, recruit? Andy J trying to milk this out, but Fatal with another kill, and it's a 2v2.
Look who's here, though. Barricade is already outside of A main, waiting for this push in. And
Holy
my
cow.
God, holy
right
cow.
on their tails. Holy cow, right on their tail. Bomb will go down, but I don't think they're expecting him so close so quickly. And there we go, cracking it open for the replay. Fatal with another kill, thanks to the auto, and it's a 1v1. Barricade with the M4 and he clutches out. And he does with the headshot on a Fatal, gets it defused, plenty of time. And oh my God, 6 and 8 for Barricade on the game, making the kills when it counts. A 4-8 half, not the worst in the world. Not necessarily the scoreline you want to see coming in to your T side. But you know what? It's doable. It's doable. And this clutch makes me believe.
Yeah, and it's a pretty even game despite the scoreline being 8-4. Everyone over at the Fell Fighters, 9 and 6 kills, right? Everyone on the Sludge Squad side, 11-8, 9-8. They're all close within each other because it's been always coming down to the wire, down to the 1v1s, down to the 1v2s. There's been a few rounds where it was just an absolute stomp, but there were few and far in between, and it really kind of came to bite the Fell Fighters up in their rear towards the latter half of the first half there. But now we're going to swap sides, Smokey. Now we're going to see the Fell Fighters on their T side, and hopefully it's just as good, if not better, than the Sludge Squad. And another tactical timeout, Smokey. That's 3 being used so far, and I'm like shocked. You don't normally see 3 tactical timeouts being used, especially one at the pistol round.
I think this is a pretty good change of pace. Sludge Squad, they lost that final round due to like a 2v2 ending up to a 1v1 clutch onto the defuse. So they're going to take this time to just collect themselves. Maybe they play a little bit more aggressive towards this CT side on pistols. It'll be interesting to see what they do. Men with the Yeehaw dualies. Everyone
No
else
kit, though.
buying armor. No kits across the board. Fatal with a single flash by the looks of it. Oh, men with a kit as well, but no armor. He might try to hold a very cheeky close angle by himself. It'll be interesting to see. Fish all on his own towards A, and it's going to be a head-to-head fight. Absolutely, Trey's going back and forth. Next to Mason, barricade, min, and spends 1-for-1, and it's a 3-on-3. Now the smoke goes in, and the match pauses for just a split second. More gushes across the site. Brian tagged down to just 9 HP. But now that's a lot of information gained by this T side, and they're just going to go ahead and decide to back off. They have plenty of time, over a minute 15 left to plant.
Brian, here's this.
Oh, Brian's going to call him out too. And Fatal's already on the rotate to mid, but that does not matter. Mason hits him with the headshot. Brian coming in through the A main peak. But Fish is lagging very far behind. Taking him a while to rotate. This is going to be a very delayed push if they do decide to try to retake this. A 2v3. And Brian's very lit. This is going to get kind of ugly. Really scrappy. Okay, Fish. Maybe I underestimated you. Get some tact in a barricade, but barricade's able to snuff out Brian from A main. Oh no, he gets dinked. The 1 HP clutch does not come through. Barricade, another kill onto Fish.
Yeah,
And barricade, that's a triple for you on the pistol round.
That push onto Fish early on throughout that B exchange was the defining factor of that A main fight, right? Fish was already low coming into it. They had the right read with, I believe it was Brian coming in from cams, going for the shot, gets a bit of damage onto that Fountain player to then have Fish finish them off and make that retake just a little bit easier, especially with no one close up on the site there. But once again, that gush really came to fruition there. And a save round for the Sludge Squad, I think is just what you kind of see normally now. And the Astralis stack outside the middle doors there. That's a strange one, but
Hey man, it's
I believe
possible.
in it. I believe in it.
You could, theoretically, it's not a bad idea, especially with a pistol +1, whenever you know the Ts are going to have probably just MAC 10s. Interesting, next gen Mason with an AK buy as well. Not a whole lot of util, with the exception of Spence getting 3 nades. And they're opting to push maybe this mid, albeit kind of slowly, especially for a pistol +1 round. And it's just Spence by himself, and he's going to get absolutely fucking steamrolled. And the pistol rounds go out. Next gen Mason also catching a lot of damage. Holy cow, trying to make some more money. Gets 1, gets 2. That's a little bit more SMG money for the farm. But Min takes down Mason as well. A 3-on-3. And that's an AK taken up. Barricade gets the initial kill, gets 2 for him as well. And Fish, with just a pistol, not able to get anything out of this. But Bomb could go down, and he's going to hear that. Oh, he gets a dink, but not quite. Andy J returns the fire, takes down Fish, and another round in favor of the UPS.
Yeah, once you get that AK, I think you just kind of fall back and you let the pistols kind of maneuver around the map and get some more information. You want to keep that AK coming into this round because now you're essentially giving them a free AK. It was next gen Masons. They dropped it. They lost that AK and they left it in your hands only for you to give it up again. It's a bit strange, but I understand the reasoning behind it. You want to make sure, maybe there's a chance in the round. Maybe there's someone who has a crazy pop-off headshot game and just becomes Scream, but it's not likely at all.
Basically, look at Holy Cow and Andy's Finance is still about 3K, but they opt not to fully invest in this round. A Scout and Mac 10s across the board. Spends with the first kill in the AK to Brian. Actually, Mason has the op. Scratch that. I thought he had the Scout for a second. What the hell am I saying? Brian, the first one to fall. But still interesting, 2 Macs across the board. So their finances aren't the greatest. And they don't have a lot of util. They have like 1 exec, 1.5 execs worth for like overtaking a site. But also, they should also smoke towards B, man. That's going to ward these guys off real quick. They're going to hear Fatal get singed up a little bit, but that does not matter. Especially with Holy Cow and Spence pushing towards mid. This is actually good. This is actually goated.
This all falls on Squiggy though. They have to keep their themselves alive there. They can't give up this much space for free.
That's just the only one on A side. If they gamble this right, no one's in A main though. They're still opting towards a mid to B maybe.
Squiggy.
Interesting flash, smoke out.
I like the idea behind it.
He's opting to wait through the smoke, waiting for the footsteps to fall. And they're opting to walk now towards A site. And he's going to listen in. Fish goes down. Okay, Min with the kill in a barricade. But he's all by himself now. He has to wait for his teammates to roll in. Min is all the way still towards middle. He has a connect over with Squiggy very quickly. Andy J trying to get a little bit antsy with this on the Mac 10, trying to get a little bit of farm money. And now the util rolls in. Initial flash popping through. Holy Cow and Spends. Nice headshots and all up to Fatal. Can he get the 4v1 clutch? Gets one. Tag down. And he's going to fall back. It's a smarter thing to do. You've got armor and a helmet and kit. Time is just ticking down too quickly. If Fish had gotten there just maybe like 5 seconds earlier, maybe you could have been a little bit more aggressive with the re-peaks, but I mean, I'm not mad with him choosing to save.
Fighters have been having an even better T-side smoke, I want to say. Because Sludge Squad, they were losing a couple of rounds that they shouldn't be losing at all. They also won a couple of rounds that they shouldn't be winning. But the Full Fighters have been a little bit more consistent, getting the map control, getting the frags, kind of really coming into their own. The scoreline is now 8-7, pretty much a near flawless T-side coming out from the Full Fighters. And I really want to point out Squiggy there. The play of the round came from Squiggy. Had they managed to make their way out of that temple smoke there. I believe they got caught on the little bricks area, which, by the way, in my opinion, should be fucking removed. But, that's just me. Anyway, that brick was the sole reason why Squiggy didn't even push further past her. They knew they missed their time. They weren't wanting to take that risk pushing that cam smoke, even though that would have been a really good play too. However, the risk was just way too great to really take in that situation.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate now, especially with Fatal. The one rifler upgraded pistols across the board with the exception of Squiggy with USPS. Looks like Fish might get a little antsy with this, try to get the 1D. Andy J does have util out. Oh, and a nice headshot. Might try to collect his bounty. Smoke goes out. And Min opting to post the pocket op towards dark all the way to T-stairs. A good way to spot and get information. Fish now with a Mac 10 can farm a little bit out of this if he decides to choose to do so. He's going to hold a very quick angle.
Ooh. That's
Presence
some
known.
shots going in. Presence is now officially known there, but it still kind of forces the Full Fighters to be a little bit more wary of it.
Most definitely. Squiggy playing for going for an info play towards mid now. He knows he's going to try to go at least for a little bit of more mid control. Oh no, Fatal trying to swing out with the M4, almost as ties against it. They're going to go for a double swing now. Oh, and Squiggy has to go for the reload.
COD reloading, oddly enough with the Mac 10.
Min and Barricade, trades going out. Nice deagle shot, and the op is spotted over towards B site. Spence activates, 14 HP left. But the rest of the T's come on rolling in, it's all to Fatal. Gets spotted out and goes down. Holy Cow is lit. Squiggy trying to go for the refrags, and he does. He gets one at least in the Holy Cow. And interesting to note, Next Gen Mason and Spence both squished down pretty hard. Oh, Next Gen Mason taking another shot. Less than 30 HP between the both of them, and this is going to go for a ninja. Next Gen Mason and Spence. Oh, the smoke spams come through. Spends, able to take down Squiggy. Oh my god, scraping the bottom of the barrel, just getting the very last dregs of that round. And it's tied up 8 apiece.
Yeah, and now the Sludge Squad are really now are on the back pedal here. They need to secure a more solid CT side. Their Brian has started slowing down, but MN has been kind of picking up the pace there a little bit more. Fish and Fatal have kind of slowed down as well. We saw them a little bit more on the scoreboard there, or at least the kill feed over on their T side. The CTs, I want to see them to get a little bit more hyper aggressive, take more space like Squiggy is so far.
Yeah, as you were alluding to earlier, Min and Spence. Min with 2. Okay, brother. As you said, Buff Fighters are not afraid to get a little bit more aggressive with their T side and go for more map control. It felt like the Sludge Squad on their T side, they were almost afraid. They were playing a little bit overly cautious and trying to get map control and push towards the site as Min eats the absolute shit out of a grenade, getting tagged all the way down to 12 HP. Barricade opting to not push towards his B main smoke. And Fish claims Holy Cow strike through mid, Fatal with it op on Spends. And this map, or I should say this round, is just falling apart for the Fuff Fighters.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like I said, Sludge Squad needs to get not necessarily hyper aggressive, but aggressive nonetheless. There, right? We saw that peeking from Bridge. We saw that peeking from E-Box there. Had they gone a little bit further, maybe it could have came to really turn the tides and do a complete 180. But that aggression was huge there. It took away Canal's control. It took away mid control, and it forced any of the B side players to be desperate for info. On the T side, when you lose mid and you lose some Canal's control, you're kind of hoping that that B side is a little bit less empty, or even that A side if there was one outside of A main there, just so that you have some avenue to get back into the round and it's not completely lost there. The bomb is fully recovered though by Barricade.
Let's see, Barricade picked up the bomb, and he's not going out without a fight.
Oh, spots the shoulder too. Oh wait,
Decides to go
Barricade.
aggressive with it. He's
Wonder.
got 2 to his name. If he can get the quad, absolute insanity. He's very heavily lit. Oh, Min with the aggressive push from main to camera. And Brian with the defuse. This is going to bring the Sludge Squad 1 up.
Yeah, once again, that a misplay there from the Sludge Squad. They went once again too passive there, not fully taking control of the bomb and not playing together. They had Fatal over there towards Temple, and we had I believe it was Squiggy, I believe, over on the A bomb site, just kind of posting, waiting for that A main push. When you had the bomb pretty much right there, you saw presence or heard presence over there on the B bomb site. So you just kind of gather around that bomb, play off each other. So just so that there's less space that you need to fight on, right? Because of the if they're there, if you're together in middle with the bomb down, that they have to come to one area, and if they need to kill all of you, all 5 of you, or all 3 of you, all 4 of you, however many left there are, you're all going to be stacked up on one place there. They managed to find a CT round though, Smokey. So it's a good play, and I wish they can do it again and hopefully have a little bit more success without losing too many players.
Yeah, fingers crossed, knock on wood. Fatal and Next Gen Mason both ops head to head now. It'll be interesting to see how they collide if they do so. Classic House Milk going out towards mid. Next Gen Mason opting to push a little bit towards T stairs, maybe peeking towards Dark, and takes down Fatal. He wins the duo. Min opting to maybe collect the op, maybe a repeat towards Dark. Flash goes out. Oh no! Fish trying to push towards Rugs, gets a little antsy, but gets absolutely denied. And this is even more map control taken by those Foe Fighters. They're not afraid to get jiggy with it.
Oh,
Min, brother. Oh, holy cow. With the failed flash towards mid. He gets 1, but it's traded out with Brian, and now it is a 1v4. If Brian can get the ace, I will eat a shoe. I've already said that once before. I'll say it again.
a shoe isn't quite as nutritious as, let's say, a mini eclair there. But more to the point of the Foe Fighters there, they know that Sludge Squad need to be taking map control. They understand that on this CT side, the Sludge Squad they're getting desperate. They need these rounds and they want to win out the game, so they know they have to be taking for aggressive fights. Maybe not as early on as the start of the round, but definitely midway through without any information. And so they're kind of playing for it as well. We saw NDJ, who normally isn't playing by rugs. Usually, they're playing by T-steps or playing by window or somewhere fighting around mid. And so see them hiding in rugs, waiting for that A main push was huge there, and a good solid read from the IGL of the Fell Fighters, who I'm also been told isn't the IGL um, of of the Fell Fighters, but that is for debate there. I think we're just gonna keep calling Next Gen Mason the IGL.
This is at least he's the team lead, so we'll call him team captain.
Team captain is and it's one of the. I think CSC is one of the few places where team captain doesn't always mean leader of the team. Sometimes players are just delegated different tasks, and sometimes there's more trust in someone being a captain than they are an in-game leader. But scoreline is now 9-9. Smokey, we are having a game, and it's a lot different from what we saw within the preseason. Preseason, there's a lot of stomps. We also had double headers. Here we have a nice, clean Counter Strike, and it's a really, really solid, even game.
Let's see, it's been back and forth, head to head. Both teams making a few mistakes, but that's to be expected, especially with the first match day of the season. That's perfectly fine. Next Gen Mason opting to go for a little bit of aggressive punish, but still up and alive. Min, a lot of util dump towards his side of sight. And Barricade with the initial peek takes down Brian. Might double swing this as well, but Min right there to meet him. And he's opting to fall back. Smoke goes out, covering the B main. And they're still split rather defaulty. And Andy J not looking to take this fight either. But maybe another split towards mid on A site this time. Fatal gonna meet them with the op though. Nice, very quick rotate. They understand that the B main portion has been completely left out. And it looks like Swiggy's gonna push out of A main as well towards T stairs. Andy's right there to meet him. Led getting traded back and forth. Mason posting out with the op. Might swing this. Oh, he gets tagged, but not going down quite. Caught with a util. Man, my God. A headshot on a Next Gen Mason. But that leaves a lot of... Okay, Fatal. What a weird off angle. He tags Spence, but he does not go down. Man, this is the ugliest 4v4 I've seen in a while. Min finally falling. Spence and Barricade getting their own kills. And Fish and Squiggy have to make this a 3-on-2 retake. Bomb will finally go down, but if you look at the HP across the side for this Fell Fighters, there isn't hardly shit between them. It's really just Barricade. Andy J can hold a really sweaty op peak, but I mean, Squiggy's so far behind, he's got to push all the way through dark really quickly on box. Oh no, Andy G with a miss. An interesting position, all three of them out towards B main. It is planted for them. Oh, the initial peek on Squiggy, but gets traded out thanks to Barricade and Spence quick thinking. The double AK kills find their makers. Fell Fighters now up 10, Sludge 9.
Yeah, Bogdan's Law really coming into play there, making sure that Barricade has the rifle. And if you don't know what Bogdan's Law is, it is the lower HP player is the one that should be willing the op in a situation where you have more than 2 to 3 players. Just so that it's a one-shot, one-kill with that op, and so if they miss that op shot, they're dead anyway, so there's no point in having that rifle, unless they're the greatest rifler like Nico or Donk there. And a quick half-buy here coming out from the Sludge squad, so these Deagles are going to be taking, or at least going to be going for some aggressive peeks here at MN.
Andy J goes down. Brian J saving Min's ass right there. And they might be able to collect that rifle if they're aggressive enough towards it. This Fell Fighters have been not afraid to play kind of defaulty. Spence poking towards mid though. I'd say the shoulder peaks will be death here, but Squiggy able to make it out with his life. Now they know they're gonna opt to push probably towards a split towards site. But even now, Holy Cow still opting to just wait at the very bottom of mid with bombs still. It's still a 2v2 setup. They're opting to get rid of, not have any real control of mid still. Just now, Min very slowly rotating towards mid, but the rest of them are going to go towards this B site.
Good boost there, and they're going to be reclaiming mid control here, just so that they don't have to worry about that beast play coming into fruition. But Spence just has to buy time. They don't need to go hyper aggressive or go for an overpeak there. They're slowly taking space away, but one's playing ahead of the smoke here.
Squiggy goes down. Holy Cow with a kill of his own on Brian. Fatal just trying to hide in the smoke with a deagle. Goes down with the spam. Min with the trade with his own pistol. But that's the site given up. It's going to be a 2v2 retake. These are what those refrag servers are for, though. Fish poking with a deagle. Finds nothing. Min with the AK. Swing out from Pizza, takes down Min, and Fish with the Deagle in a Dream. Opting to run in. Spots nothing. He's going to have to completely guess this. Nice rifle pickup. Hyper aggressive with it. The 180s come through, but nothing connects. Holy cow, finally finishing the round with a kill of his own. That's 2 for him, 2 for Barricade as well, and 1 on Spens.
The Fall Fighters are just like running away with this second half there. They had an abysmal CT side, but they managed to make it up on their T side midway through the season. Hopefully the Fall Fighters really figure out what their CT side situation is going to be, just like the Sludge Squad here. Their T side, almost perfect. Fall Fighters are just a little bit better on that T side, and they're not stopping. They're going aggressive. They're going for slow paced plays, which is really huge against a team like Sludge Squad who can very easily be abused in that situation.
Fish eating a bunch of util next to Mason a little bit as well. And it's interesting to note also Sludge Squad seems to be losing a lot of their 1v1s. Especially with these more aggressive plays. Fall Fighters tend to sometimes be a little bit more default, a little bit more slow play, but when it comes down to it, they're able to win on the 1v1s. Still, opting to play very slowly, not looking to give up any sort of critical information towards the CT side. Mason posting up interestingly towards rugs, towards mid canals. Brian opting to poke a little bit from dark to T stairs, finds nothing. Both teams letting the clock wind down just a little bit. Each team brewing their own little uncertainty. Holy cow, nice push towards mid. And he could get away with this. Op spots Brian over in dark and Spens. Backs out of back of mid as well. Holy cow, might get the kill over here. Oh no, not quite. Flash comes out, he has to fall back. But that draws a lot more attention towards this mid, so they might think it's a split. Now the rest of the T is going to activate towards B. A lot of util thrown towards next gen Mason. Eats a grenade. But he's still up and kicking. Still! 20 seconds left and it's still a 5v5. At this point, you have to activate. Either that or fall back.
There's no point in falling back here. They have someone else to work with. 10 seconds left. Brian comes in with onto next gen. Mason barricade through the smoke.
They're going to be able to get the plant down. Oh no! He has to reload! Brian with the initial kill into barricade, able to fall back through the smoke, goes down thanks to Andy J's spam. Andy J going traded by Squiggy, and he's going to force his way into this a 2v3 retake. And they have the majority of the site down. Fatal can cover him with the op. Holy cow goes down, it's all dispensed. The poke out from Fish to Pizza takes him out, and they're able to get this defuse in time, as well as an op, maybe 2 if they really want him. 8K saved by Squiggy and Fish, and a little bit of util for Fish as well. So this extra money saved by the CT side.
Yes, Sponger's Luck also coming into effect. They're keeping 3 CT-sided players left alive there. And I believe it was Barricade who was out by Pizza, going for an unnecessary resmoke. Really, after 5-10 seconds after it was posted down there, you have 20 seconds on that timer for the smoke there. You can definitely just wait for it, especially because you were spamming through that smoke. If someone hears you reload, they can definitely catch a timing and catch you off guard, as we saw with Brian there. Next gen Mason going for the up mid pick though. Doesn't catch anything, but it's information given. Not too much, but enough for them to really formulate a plan overall.
Yeah, they can at least get something out of this. Maybe Brian and Min poke a little bit towards B site and mid from dark, opting to go for a little bit of spam. Nothing connects, but that's fine. More util dump towards mid, but Min's going to go ahead and re-smoke B main. He's got a little bit of a read on this. He's going to think it's going to be another B push, and he's right on the gamble for the time being.
Oh,
Ryan, nasty shots onto Andy J. Going for the reload. And these Mac 10s are not going to farm. Barricade opting to get the AK. More smoke spams coming through. And they're going to go ahead and still try to retake this site. Just body it with numbers.
and with no aiming presence, this B stack is going to be more than likely going to be a good overall read there. And this execute is coming in into flashes. Almost not.
And they're almost... Oh my goodness, and they're making it work out of this. Holy cow, getting the initial kill into Brian. Plants will go down. Fish trying to go through the smoke. A wild spray. Gets nothing, but Squiggy takes down Spence. Almost takes down Barricade, but Barricade gets the refrag. Now it's 2v3. Very ugly round. Holy cow onto Fish, and it's all up to Fatal in a 1v3. With the op. Gets one. Can he get two? Not quite. Next Gen Mason with the refrag with his off of his own. And that's 2 for Barricade, 1 for Mason, and 2 for Holy Cow. And this is match point in favor of UPS.
Yeah, UPS have made the comeback real. What was an 8-4 half there? Now a 10-12 score line. So really good plays coming out from the Fub Fighters, and a really risky play overall on that B execute. And it really boiled down to who hit the shots better, who caught the timing correctly, who managed to push the smokes at the exact right time to get these headshots coming in, just one after another to really support that incoming attack.
Pretty decent buy amongst all for the CT side. Maybe not as much utility as they want, as Spence and Next Gen Mason very quickly opening up these frags. And they're still opting to play towards mid. Fatal pushing the smoke out, misses his shot.
And it's over.
It's over as quickly as it starts. The Fub Fighters round this out, not even dropping a single man on the final round. 2 for Mason, 2 for Spence, and the NDJ with a kill of his own. What an exciting match.
Yeah, and it really was like a really well thought out match there. But in the end, the Sludge Squad really just showed that they're not as coordinated when it comes to these slow paced plays. On their T side, when they were on their slow defaults, kind of working the map, they weren't really taking map control. They were kind of waiting outside these potential fight spots. The general heat maps of Anubis, and they weren't doing anything with it. However, for the UPS, for the Fub Fighters, they were doing exactly that. They were fighting for map control, they were taking space, and they were either giving it up or just leaving someone there to lurk midway through the timing there. So it just goes to show that the UPS are more, inclined with these coordinated plays there. On top of, the Sludge Squad throwing away certain rounds on both their T and CT side, losing against pistols, losing against having the bomb plant in their possession, or at least the bomb in their possession over towards middle. Within the middle of their CT side endeavor there. So just a bunch of mistakes coming out from the Sludge Squad, but also a lot of highlight plays. Squiggy with the ace, I believe it was one of the more notable ones there. Brian as well coming into play as well there. So just an overall solid, showing from both of these teams, and it was a really relatively close scoreline, 13-10.
A very nice and a classic scoreline for both of these teams. Something to look forward to for both these teams. I think they've got both a pretty good foot forward coming into match day 1. Yes, Fub Fighters come out on top. Excuse me. But, Sludge Squad, they had a couple good plays of their own, especially with some of the more... They did poke a little bit on their CT side, a little bit outside of especially A main. And they had a little bit of fruits of their endeavors, especially with like 1 or 2 kills towards Rugs. But even after on the match, or I should say the rounds after towards their more successful aggressive pushes, they just couldn't come up with it. Especially on their T side, they were just sometimes getting... Or I should say, on their T side, sometimes just struggling to get a little bit on their economy, but they end up to not really formulating anything on their CT side with, they had a couple good plays, but those just key factors that they could try to put in just couldn't amalgamate to getting the dub, and it just ends up falling to the UPS's lap. Very close game overall.
Yeah, keep in mind, this is also the very first match day. Sure, the cuts have been done. Sure, the final 5 has been solidified, but that doesn't mean that the work is done. The GMs, AGMs, and captains still have a lot of work to put in, setting up practice days, setting up ways to get all the entire team working together as a unit. Some players are really good in practice. Some players, maybe they don't like to practice as much, and it comes down to being able to fuse all your players, get that synergy going, and you're definitely not going to get that off of one match day, right? So give them some time. The Sludge Squad are definitely going to fix their mistakes come the middle of the season, and if it requires a mid-season roster change, then so be it. But I can wholeheartedly say that I believe in the Sludge Squad just as much as I believe in the UPS. They also had some mistakes as well that we're not gonna shade them for. This is about learning and growing as a team, and both these teams have shown really, really good foundations.
I'm excited because especially, it's only Tuesday night. We've got Thursday night Counter-Strike as well for these lower tiers of play. Next game, the Sludge Squad play on the Bachelors on the ACA, and Fub Fighters take on the Nightshades for a Greenhouse. So a couple of interesting matchups as well towards later this week, day after tomorrow. But this leads it into us for the night. My name is your friendly neighborhood. I am your friendly neighborhood Smokey, and alongside Nexus, I appreciate everyone coming out, having a lot of fun with us tonight, both on the A and the B stream tonight. Appreciate everyone taking the time to have some fun Counter-Strike with us, and we will see y'all Thursday.
Yeah, I mean, just to really quickly recap here, just obviously the contender games are going to be coming out Thursday as well. Tuesday and Thursday for Elite through Recruit, and Premier is a Monday night special there. And also, once again, to really reiterate and really highlight our partnership with CS Strat, csstrats.dk. Three CSC players get 3 months free, and for everyone else, you get 1 month free. And if you do like the services that are being provided, you can also use the code CSC25 for 25% off your first purchase. And check us out on Discord, discord.gg/CSC. And if you want to really see all the links and exactly what they offer, you can go to the notices tab in the Discord and click for more information. But yeah, just like Smokey said, we'll see you guys hopefully on Thursday night. Have a good one.